Wait, what?
Yeah, boys.
Yes.
And I'm gonna beat one of my VEOs. I'm gonna
Who's
beat...
not ready?
I'm
Pamo and
Emu.
Cosmo.
No. I'll finish right behind
I
Rose.
wanna pray. I wanna pray that it will work, please. Dry. Did. Good luck. Dry, okay, see. Time for
Yeah, it's already dry. By the way, penalties, they are off right now.
Yeah, they'll be on for the race.
race.
They'll be off?
They'll be on.
Oh. Okay, let's go then.
Let's go!
Oh, thanks, God.
That's bone dry. I didn't have to do that.
Okay. But yeah, wait.
Eurus,
Okay.
mute
Full
yourself.
track. No pace double.
Jake's harkening back
Bye.
a super bad line. These girls are 17 years old. They're good to go.
Sorry?
I have no idea what that's a reference to,
You
so
not
it
seen
just
that?
sounds kind of sussy, you know?
Sassy.
Sussy-wussy.
Sissy Bucker.
Goose, did you delete the connection check that you posted that has your IP address?
Why did Jake beat? Oh wait, Jake is on hot.
I wanted to
No,
post that,
Jake!
oh no!
It's because he was typing
Totally.
she's 17 and it switched his tires by accident.
Shit.
Yes! I ruined Jake's quality!
Why not happy about that?
Because it's really funny.
Yeah, but it's quite cool. But
We
it's
should
not. No.
No!
No. It's
Eurus,
his
you're
problems
not
that
funny
he's.
or correct, so be quiet.
Have you noticed how Skip is always fucking up people's start of the race?
In what way?
Guys, would I be allowed to start the race after quali?
No.
We don't need you.
We don't need you.
I thought
It
Andy
was
said
so rude.
No, they've got Goose. Alright, just everyone be quiet so I can do the grid rundown.
Okay, gotcha.
Mike Wally was
Shut
better
up.
than Sobbles.
Noms takes pole here for the final race of the season. Gamer, I think, on the front row alongside him. Jake in third! Jake in third! Despite starting on the hard, he's in third place. Nuno in fourth, Julo in fifth, Hanandi in sixth, Pima in seventh, Danimator in eighth, and the VEOs both in the top 10. Anti takes 11th, very low for him. Sobel in 14th, his teammate. Opalon 12th, Rams 13th, in between the two NTHs. Cosmo 15th spot, X6 and Eurus 16th and 17th. Goose starting from last. JP3!
I would start 11th. If I would qualify same as in CL, I would even beat Anti. Wow. Wow. That's actually. I'm better than Anti though.
Be 11 and 14. Right, hopefully the connection is better for this race, because last race was just fucking awful to commentate.
Black paint is heavy.
Yeah. Depends on high. Beware.
You're just constantly unhelpful. You exist to not help. Just stop. Are you some kind of like anti-karma that needs to keep us in check? Where like every time something's about to happen, like just I'm done. No Ghosted Blues.
I want that soundbite recorded.
Stay after the race.
Of Skip screaming like the Fry guy from The Simpsons.
Who? Okay. Okay, who the fuck is not up against Pimo? No, why?
Pimo. Right.
Pimo.
Yours is muted, I think.
But Pimo, god fucking damn it! Please ready up for fuck's sakes. Bye, Pimo. We kick you.
I think
Because-
Cosmo's going to kick his own teammate. You're severely mistaken.
Pim said yes, just a sec. No.
Oh my god, this is going to be such a good race to commentate. Alright,
Shit.
almost ready. We're here in Hell Valley. For the final time in Season 8. We're underway here. Nobs leads them away from pole position. Gamer in second still. Jake in third. Julo looking to have a move on Nuno. He started on the hard compound tyres. Noms on the soft. It looked like he's on the mediums for a second. That must have been a visual glitch. Gamer gets a poor exit through that corner. In the background, Hanandi running into the gravel, as are quite a lot of the cars at the back. We've got an SCP down in last. That's Cosmo. Rams alongside him. Big pack here going into the final corner. Eurus comes out. Opalon forced into the pit lane on lap 1. That's crucial for his race. Really poor for his final race for NBZ. He won't be liking that at all. Noms leads the way. Jake in second. It's an FLF 1-2 at the moment. Jake runs wide. Nuno down the inside in his final race. He's going to be looking to make it 10 out of 10 podiums this season. Gamer to the inside. Pushes Jake onto the rough stuff on the edge of the track there. Jake getting the slipstream down there. Meanwhile, Rozim up in 6th place. He's going to slipstream Danny, trying to overtake him into turn 2 if he can. Julo backing up that pack in 7th. Then we've got Grandy and Pimu behind. Eurus looking to make a move there, and he does get past Pimu into the hairpin. Great overtake there. Grandy right ahead of him. Right behind Pimu is X6, Eurus' teammate. Up in front, Danny looking to make a move on Rozim. He does get back through on those soft tyres. Gamer in 3rd, shielding off from Nuno. Still Noms in 2nd. Sorry, Noms in 1st, Gamer in 2nd, Nuno in 3rd. Mistake on the timing tower there. Jake in 4th place, looking for a very solid result today. He led some laps last time out in Assen. Those will go on his tally at the end of the season. For the total laps led, we might have some gravel here. We do. Rozine gets pushed into it. Luckily gets a good enough line through the next corner to keep position there. Does lose out to Pimu in the end through that double right-hander, double left-hander, I should say. Grandy to the outside here. We've got a four-way battle. Eurus, X6 looking to join it as well. Pimu gets a penalty. They're all into the wall at the exit of turn 1. Eurus leads the way, then X6. Then we've got, looks like Rozim there. X6 gets a little bit of an issue, loses positions to Pimu and Eurus there as well. Eurus still out in front. Oh, he goes off into the gravel there. Just on the wrong place there on the outside. Sobel and Anti battling down in 12th and 15th respectively. Big pack still fighting here. Eurus around the outside of his teammate at the final corner. What a move. Julo's down in this pack as well. Pimu front of the train in 7th. In 6th rather. Big gap up to Danny and Jake, who have escaped from that midfield fighting. Then we've got Nuno and Gamer and Nobs looking for his first win of the season. His first win in 20 races. Can he manage it? We'll have to see come lap 60 of this race. Race is going to be maybe a pretty long one, looking at kind of 27, 28 minutes here. Definitely longer than a standard race being the finale. And then we got some donuts after that. That will all be broadcast. Gamer still in 2nd place. He's looking to take a podium after his poor showing last time out in his home race at Assen. Nuno runs wide on his attack of Gamer. Still get that slipstream down through the forest section though. Jake still slipstreaming Danny. Danny goes into the pits. Jake's going to stay at an extra lap or so. Pimu comes through as well. X6 is in. Eurus goes through into 7th place. Great spot for him at the moment. Eurus in 6th. Julo in 7th. Rams in 8th position. Hanani in 9th. He'll be looking for a better performance this week. Anti in 10th. Now, this is a really, really crucial part of the race for Anti. It looked like, who knows, he's been looking for his first race win in multiple seasons. He got a podium last time out. Doesn't look like one of those will be coming his way. It's going to be rough trying to battle through this pack. We'll see Jake come out of the pits now. He doesn't have the clean air he'd probably quite like, but he is on the hard, so he won't have to make as much of an advantage of that as maybe other drivers. But we've got a huge pack here. Gamer having pitted right into this. He's going to lose a lot of time through there. The strategy definitely being the overcut here, if you can manage that. Gamer on the hards, Nuno on the hards. They've both stopped, have they? Yes, they have. Noms having stopped, and he's still out in the lead of the race. As I say that, actually in 2nd, conceding position to Pimu, who has not stopped so far. He's on the mediums that he started the race on lap 10. Noms getting that pit stop exactly right while his teammates bogged down in a bit of traffic. Nuno now behind his teammate Rams, who's very last a few laps ago, now in 10th Sorry, now in 3rd place on lap 10. So, great positioning for him. He does need to come in to stop, but not for a little bit still, because of those hards that he started on. Looking very, very good for him at the moment. Danny battling Anti. Danny having stopped, Anti not having stopped. That would explain him being up the pack there. Is he going to find the gravel on the outside? He does. He still manages to get through on Hanandi there, rather. Jake, having pitted onto the hard, still down in 8th place, not able to make up any of those positions through this pack in what is the most difficult part of the race for these front runners, having to get their way back through the midfield after the first stint. Lev, your thoughts so far?
So far, it's pretty... I would say it's pretty boring, but it's nice to see Nomskar leading again. But in the general, it's pretty chaotic, but at the start it was very fun, but now it will look like it will be only pit strategy battle and nothing else.
Maybe so. We'll have to see if anybody gets any big collisions here. It's definitely a track where those could happen. Gamer, looking to the inside of Nuno there, going into the hairpin, into this next hairpin with the gravel runoff. They're both going to want to keep it clean through here. They both do manage so. They've both been very happy with a podium. The positions that they're currently running in would give them that come the end of the race. Danny in 4th, Jake up in 5th, but a good amount behind Danny. He's just got a gap about 3 seconds behind. God, that timing tower is really, really difficult to read with all the bloody name suffixes on the end. Anti up in 6th place, still yet to stop off those hards. Maybe a pretty good strategy, actually, because that means he will come out in that gap. In fact, we'll follow on board with him when it looks like he will go to the pits. Pimu has stopped. X6 trying to get past him. X6 also having stopped onto those softs. Oh, Rams looks like he went into the wall there after being up into 3rd place. Just a bit of a shunt. And that's a pretty unfair penalty for Hanandi, unfortunately, there. Anti does stop at last. Where will he come out into the pack? Behind Goose, ahead of Rozim. Rozim, who looked to be doing really well earlier, must have lost a lot of positions through battling. He's now down in 17th place. Anti in 16th. He won't have quite the clean air he might have wanted, but regardless, still, he's going to look to fight his way back up through that pack. Knobs coming up to Opalon here. Knobs on the hard, as are Nuno, Gamer, Danny, and Jake, Pimu, and Rams running in the top 7 positions. We've got Urist in 9th. He'd love a top 10 finish today. That would be a great way to finish off the season for him. He's not qualified well a lot of the time, but he has shown his pure race pace is very, very good at building his way back up through that battling pack through the grid. Cosmo has stopped for a second time at last, and he is out in near last place, only a little bit ahead. Opalon flicking through the grid here. Not a lot of close battles. I say that Eurus looking to get past Rams. Rams on the hard, so Eurus will have that straight line speed advantage on the mediums. Rams goes back up the inside into the final corner. Very nice overtake there. Eurus keeping the entry wide into that first turn. Can he maybe battle up, get past Rams? He's got Hanandi for company there. Hanandi just having to back out. And they ride the wall. That's Hanandi and Grandi out through that hairpin. Now into the next one. Are we going to see any collisions onto the gravel here? No. They all keep their noses clean. We've got a big battling pack in the background. Can't say the same. Anti pushes Goose into the gravel. X6 gets through. Rozim on the inside too. We've got this pack here. And Sobel getting up to the back of his teammate. They're fighting for, I never thought I'd say this about the NTH cars, 14th and 15th. So not very good at all for them in the race, where it looked like they might actually be able to make it that Constructors' Championship if they had a bit of good luck. Well, it's certainly not going to go that way for them now. They're battling through here with Goose, with Rozim. They get past both of them. They're now up into 13th and 14th. Improvement there. Het, are you watching live stream? Can you see anything from that? Not sure if we have Het with us here. Julo down the inside on Grandi into that very, very tight hairpin. Urist leads that pack at the moment. He's up in 7th place. Very solid for him. Rams would love a 6th place. We weren't sure if he was going to make it to the race. He is here, and he's running in a very, very nice position. We're a third of the way through this Grand Prix. And Rams would love to finish in 6th. It's not been the best season for him. He has had a few weeks where, unfortunately, due to other things, wasn't able to practice as much. But he's looking strong here for a strong finish. Lev.
We can say that Nomskar has that big gap that he can pit freely for any ties he wants, which he might actually do.
He can cover off Nuno, who has stopped twice. Nom's looking to make his second stop here, and yeah, you're right, massive gap behind him, and he will be in this lap to cover off a potential undercut from Nuno, although he did have a pretty good gap as it was. He's making his way through the pits now. We've got Nuno who's making his way through the final sector. Noms exit the pits into turn 2 now, as Nuno just comes over to start the lap, so 4 seconds back. Nuno currently sitting there, but rain could shake things up here. Clouds coming over now to cover. Gamer in 3rd, not quite within Nuno's slipstream, but certainly within the possibility of being able to reach Nuno soon. They're on very similar strategies. Gamer with just a lap older tyres. Danny in 4th. Pimu made his way up into 5th place ahead of Jake, who's dropped down to 6th. 6th will still be his career best finish. Rams in 7th now comes into the pit lane. We've got a huge pack here. Anti on the outside of Razia, X6 leading them away. Cosmo in the background. He'll come out of this in front. Ooh, it looks like it'll be X6 into that tight hairpin who'll stay in the lead of this pack. Anti looking down the inside into these sweeping bends, into the hairpin. How will this go for them? They all keep it out of the gravel. Very good racing there. Anti to the outside of Cosmo into the double left-hander. Still behind X6 though. Razim looking in on the action too. Hanandi right at the back of that pack. Cosmo steers right into the wall. Looks like he was trying to go into pit. Just got a little bit of a collision there. He does make his way into the pit lane and will pit fresh, soft tyres until they come out right behind Goose, just a lap down from our race leader, Nods. Nuno, 4-5 seconds back. So Nuno all season has been saying that Noms, he's faster, Nuno's just getting lucky. He's been some races where definitely could have been Noms' win. We've yet to have that proved, due to Nuno winning 7 races this season, which is something never done before by a driver in Sunday League. But Nom's looking pretty close for a lot of them. Got 4 second places this season. I think 5 second places even. That's right, 5 second places. Rain on the way. We'll see how the drivers can adapt to this. Anybody going by the pit entry? There is. Pimu into the pit lane. Hanandi and all those behind also in. Jake the first to stop onto those wet weather tyres, and it will be quite a substantial amount of rain as the rain starts to come down now. Those in front, we'll see how they've dealt with it. Yeah, they just come in right at the end of that stint, so that's not doing any favours to those who pitted a lap earlier. In particular, Opon not into the pits. Now he is off those medium tyres. The gap's pretty much the same. Sobel on the hards still. Has he just pitted for those hards, I wonder? No, he's stayed out on those, having pitted for them pretty recently. He's got to go in for wets now. He does. We'll see where he comes out as his teammate is able to get past him, and so does a mother load of a pack of cars there. Sobel will come out a substantial amount behind them, and behind X6 as well. X6 was in that mother load of cars, as was Rosine. Both of them now outside of it, so it's a big shame for them. But we'll see how this battle unfolds. Julo looking to try and get past on Anti. Urist slides wide into the gravel there. Big collision. Rams and Nandi hitting the wall. Anti asking for a slipstream or for others to slipstream him. He's running in at 7th place at the moment, right in this midfield battle. He has made his way up through the pack very nicely indeed, but will still need to try and clear these runners who are in the middle of the pack at the moment. Pimu in 6th place, Jake still in 5th. He's ahead of him now, so that's very, very good from Jake. Good strategy to be able to get ahead of Pimu. Always, I think, maybe an overtake earlier on before the rain came. Lev, anything particular to share with us at the moment?
Not very much, to be honest. Just you're pretty much covering what's happening because there's nothing very interesting in top 5.
Yeah, true. So Sobel, who pitted late onto those wets, is out in 13th place. X6, who's looking for a potential top 10 finish today, first of his career, down in 14th, looking not so likely for him. Ahead of Sobel is a 2.6 second gap up to Hernandi, who's running in 12th. This is the battle for the top 10 positions. Rams leads them in 9th, Urist in 10th, Grandi and Hernandi just outside that top 10 in 11th and 12th. Julo, slipstreaming Anti, they've gotten away from that pack nicely. That's exactly what Anti would have wanted, and he now has the second half of the race to be able to claw his way up into that leading pack potentially, but he does have a 3.5 second gap up to Pimu. Has Pimu got problems? He does. Pimu having problems here. Gets in the way of Julo, brings him to a full stop. Huge for Julo there. Runs right into the back of Pimu, and it looks like Pimu out of this race. Not quite on the racing line. People can still have to avoid him. Does have massive issues. Not sure if that's a connection thing with him. Almost certainly is. I wouldn't be surprised to see him leaving the race pretty soon. Yeah, just having problems down in 18th. Pimu with his first DNF since Malaysia. Season 6 is out of this race. Terrible for Scuderia Paracaro. Already not having as good of a season this time around as they were last time. And he is now out of the race. Awful for Julo, who got held up right behind him. I'll tell Pimu that it's just his problems there. Gamer in 3rd place, Danny in 4th, Jake in 5th, and yeah, Pimu experiencing massive issues there. Anti promoted a position, as are the rest of the grid. Julo now into 7th. Still looking like he might be able to catch Anti, but it will be a much tougher ask now with that car broken down right in front of him. A huge contact right into the back of him. Very exciting moment. DNF live on camera. Grandi promoted to 9th. Urist into the top 10. Love a top 10 finish, as with his teammate. He's running in 10th. His teammate in 14th. Urist finishing the top 10 last time as well. Very solid for him. So, yeah, as I said earlier, great way to end out the season. Goose in the MBZ, a very stylish car this race, if I do say so myself. In 15th, Cosmo battling him for that position. Going to go down the inside into the hairpin. Goose is able to fight it back into the double left-hander. Pimu's parked his car off the track. Goose hits the wall. The rain's going to carry on. It's just still going. Even though these wets do have great longevity, the rain has not relented in this very damp part of the Black Forest, famous for its Black Forest ghetto. But tonight it'll be famous for this amazing Grand Prix that's unfolding here. Jake still up in 5th place. The story of the race thus far, pretty far off Danny though. Danny looking to make some gains on Gamer. Now, slick conditions finally coming back. Lev, anything that you spotted out there in the pits?
No, nothing yet. Everyone is staying out.
And anything in the race in general?
In the race in general, no, not very much. The things that you're covering are pretty much the things that are happening.
Good to know, doing my job. So yeah, sun here. Clouds coming over, so the rain, the track drying level, I should say, will decrease. Sobel, looking in at that top 10 finish, it'd be very disappointing for him to not get a top 10 finish. His teammate has made his way up through the pack very nicely indeed. Anti up into 6th place. Sobel not so much, he's still down there in 11th, and he's right in that pack, battling down to 13th. And Andy catches a little bit of dust on that wall, and he will drop back a little bit, slow those guys down. Big battle to someone. Sobel lunges down the inside. They're both into the wall on the XF turn 2. You don't want to be out there. That allows Urus and Rosin right through. Very interesting indeed. X6 looking to pick up the scraps on this battle. Top 10 finish wasn't looking likely for him until recently, but this battling might see him claw his way up there. 2/3 of the race has gone as Nobs finishes lap 40 here. Exactly 2/3 past. And we will see a dry track in a couple laps' time. Lev, what strategies do you think we'll see to the end with only 18 laps of dry running?
I think we'll see either mediums and then softs, or only going for hards.
Stretching the hards, 18 laps, that'd be quite ballsy, but it is a street track. Overtaking, nobody ever said it was going to be easy. So you've got to be careful. Noms into the pits, and it looks like everyone will file in behind him. Julo and Anti a lap down also in there. Amazing pace from Noms today. He's really just taken control of this race. Looks like we have a little bit of budging there. UR2D, not for the first time this season, has to go backwards into his pit box. That will really harm his hopes of being up in that top 10. Jake still out on the wets. Looks like he's going to come into the pits now. He does. We'll see where he emerges. He's on the hard compound tyre, and he is in 5th place still. He wasn't going to get any closer to Danny, but he will have to watch out for Anti behind him coming to these final 20 laps. 5th place for Jake, though, would be amazing. And I did say to him before the race, I said, with this pace, mate, easily could finish in the top 5. He just needs to finish in the top 6, in fact, in order to get his best ever race finish in Sunday League. His best currently, P7 in Vallelunga, the Season 8 Italian Grand Prix. A race that he didn't particularly enjoy, so he said himself, but still a result. And this one, looking like it'll be a good one too. Let's see, where have we got close running to each other? We've got Rams and Grandy in 8th and 9th. They could be teammates next season, but Nuno, obviously, in his final race before he takes that sabbatical. And it could be Grandy promoted to that senior team, the FGR team. Would be a pretty solid pairing as they get in each other's way a little bit. In fact, Goose even might be telling them not to fight each other because they just need to get as good a result as they can for both the teams. Andy and Sobel looking to get in on any top 10 action that they can, but having had that crash on the exit of turn 2, looking to be more careful with each other. Rosine ahead of them, he's in 10th. He'll be looking for I believe, a first top 10 finish for him as well. Grandy swept wide by Rams there. So this was the pack. Rams in 10th, Grandy in 11th, Rosine in 12th. That were the status quo for the mid-pack in Portimao. And now they're in 8th, 9th and 10th, so they've all gained a couple of positions. Obviously a bit of fortune there with the Pamusha DNF. Julo, 7th place, he'll be very happy with that as a result, should things finish the way they are. But being the competitive, fresh racer that he is, he'd love a 6th place to be able to rob that spot off Anti with a bit of good pace. He could try to do that, you never know. Looks like these guys will be taking those hard compound tyres right to the end of the race, so we'll have to see how the wear treats them at the very end. Obviously, a kind of conception that, you know, the more experienced you are, the better you'll be with tyre wear. Or the more historically fast you are, I should say. So yeah, we've got a nice little gap ahead of Jake here. Danny, who is 9 seconds ahead, so he does have a free pit stop, should he need to use it, if he feels like those hards at the end are just going to go off and he might be able to make some time up on Gamer by having a short, soft stint. He wouldn't lose any positions through that, so it could be, one would say, worth the gamble. Rosine into the pits. He's the first person we've seen pit since the track dried up. We'll have a look at this midfield battle. Grandy looking to close in on Rams again. And Andy ahead of Snowball still. These guys can't be separated all race. Of course, I neglect to mention, they will probably be teammates next season at LSA. Sobel very much hinting at his return to the famous red team, and he's battling his potential future teammate at the moment, and they're not going easy on each other. They're really giving each other hell out there. Might be an awkward first day back in the office for Sobel. If so, he just pushes his way past there into a very, very tight hairpin that corner is. Obviously a winding mountain road, but we've put up the safety walls on the outside just for that kind of scenario in case there's a bit of speed given into that corner. Now Nuno, in a last throw of the dice, went onto the softs instead of taking the hards to the end. We'll see where in the pack he emerges. It will be behind Hernandi. Sorry, I'm looking a lap down here. It will be in second place still, ahead of Gamer. So very, very good for him to be able to stop from those softs onto the hards for the final 10 laps. Maybe the medium's going to be the better choice, unless I've got that wrong. And yes, Gamer also having stopped, so Danny up into second place, promoted through that. Gamer and Nuno on those fresh hard tyres. I think what Nuno is doing might have actually been covering off an undercut from Gamer. Gamer looking for that second place finish. Nuno currently occupying that second place at the time. And I didn't see Gamer go in, but yeah, it looks like he did go in. Which Nuno then had to cover off. We'll see in the background, Jake still in 5th, Andy still in 6th, Julo in 7th, Rams, and then Sobel and Hernandi. We've got Grandy and Rosine, but their final race as teammates, most likely, battling out in 11th and 12th. Going into turn 2 there, they're just keeping it nice and cautious, making sure they don't trip over each other too much, and they are teammates after all. UR2D just behind them in 13th spot, looking to try and take those positions off them. Obviously, every position is a point, when you're running outside the top 10, so he'll be looking for that. X6, his teammate, looking to close in on him. UR is hitting the wall there. So he'll be looking to try and make the advantage of that. X6 is in.